welcome to today's session. How are you doing? I pray that all is well with you and your family at this time. I hope you had a happy Diwali yesterday, all celebrations and lots of festivity. And today is Govardhan Puja. O Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai. So I'm just remembering how beautiful it would have been in Vrindavan today and Govardhan Puja, everybody doing parikram there from the ISKCON temple at Govardhan, the palace. They would have gone directly to Govardhan and done Abhishek directly to Giriraj there. So very nostalgic and beautiful memories of Vrindavan and Govardhan Puja. So we're moving on. Because yesterday was the day in which the Damodar Leela took place. So it took place on Govardhan Puja, as Prabhupada was saying in the first verse of our discussions. So it's a very special moment. Now we're reaching the point where Mother Yashoda is deciding what kind of atonement, prayaschita, what kind of punishment should we give this fellow? What type? Because she can see her heart is being moved. She wanted to give him with the stick, but she changed her mind and she's using a second method now, and we're going to see the conflicting emotions within her as she's observing and as she wants to correct. Remember, we are talking about that her mother's concern is twofold: nurturing and culturing. So when the nurture aspect is done, that he fed him well and everything is okay with his health, then culturing, make sure he's bring him up as a good boy. So this is Mother Yashoda's anxiety. So there's always this conflict within her for nurturing and culturing, that these two things must be installed in this child. So we're moving on to verse number 12 today, and it goes as follows. Tyaktva yashitam shutam bhitam vijnanam yar bhakta vatsala yesha kilatam badhum Dama Tadvirako Vida. Translation. Mother Yashoda was always overwhelmed by intense love for Krishna, not knowing who Krishna was or how powerful he was. So we can see that the living entity also has this conditioned state, but it's very different from Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda is part of the internal energy of Krishna, and doesn't come under the modes of material nature, and she doesn't come under the material illusion. Mahatmanastamam partha daivim prakriti ashrita. That those who are the higher evolved souls, they take shelter of the daivim prakriti, the divine energy. They don't take shelter of the marginal energy. Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nityadas Jivera Tatasta Shakti Beda Bed Prakash. So the Jiva takes shelter of the Tatasta Shakti. So Tatasta means middle, that it can go either way. It can go back into the material world or it can go up to the spiritual world. It's Tatasta, it's marginal. Like in school books we have the margin. We used to have books like that. I don't know if they have them anymore. Where you have the margin, so you write, but you don't go over the margin. The margin is for the teacher to write his comments and write your marks and things like that. So marginal means you don't go over that side. So the living entity is marginal. So by his choice now, he can move either way. We can see Mother Yashoda, she's overwhelmed by her intense love for Krishna. She's not aware of his power, his majesty. She just loves him as a little child. And this is a very distinctive feature, because us as the living entity, we become overwhelmed here. First thing we look for in God is power, how powerful he is. Remember Dr. Frog? How powerful? Oh, maybe 4 times bigger than my well, maybe 10 times bigger. Atlantic Ocean, sir. Oh, how big? So you remember that story of Dr. Frog, because we need a point of, in order to compare something, you need a point of reference. But how do you have a point of reference for something that's unlimited? Krishna is unlimited. So how do you get a point of reference for something that's unlimited? And the nature of love is also unlimited. So she's being spellbound or influenced by the nature of love because she's in that dimension. And by that, she doesn't see any of the majesty of Krishna. So when she's looking at Krishna, she doesn't know who he is as Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. You know, those Sanskrit slokas, all big prayers they're giving to Krishna. When the inhabitants of Vrindavan observe this, they can't relate. They can't relate to Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and all these prayers. People are coming and praying here to this fellow who is doing all the nonsense. What is this? They're all confused when they're observing this. So Mother Yashoda also, because they prema bhaktas. Their love is so intense that it overwhelms. They don't see anything but Krishna and the love that he exchanges with them and they exchange with him. They can't see anything else. Sometimes Krishna does try to show. We'll see in Brahmanda Ghat, Krishna tries to show the power just to see also, is their love, it's not an illusion. Is their love really so intense that it can overpower the illusionary energy? Because they can come under the influence, but their love is so strong, they immediately come back and say, oh, what's happening in my mind? I'm just thinking all this, that God is powerful, Krishna is God. This fellow, if I don't feed him, he's so dependent on me. If I don't feed him, what will happen to him? He'll become skinny. How can he be God? Impossible. So he goes on to say, because of maternal affection for Krishna, she never even cared to know who he was. So she's not doing this because she's under the modes of illusion or the modes of nature, the illusionary energy. She is doing this because she's overwhelmed with maternal love. This is what love does. Love overwhelms, it blinds one. So you can see here as well, it's so intense. This level of prema, of love of God, is so intense that she don't even see. Just yesterday I was watching Dinabandhu Prabhu. I was telling you about this wonderful channel, Vrindakund Inc. INC, Vrindakund Inc. I think it's on Facebook as well. And he's going to very professionally done videos. And of course, if it's done by Dinabandhu Prabhu, you can imagine, he is like the Acharya of Parikram in Vrindavan. So he went to Brahmanda Ghat and he was explaining there how Prabhupada, just after the Pandal program in Delhi, so Prabhupada said, let me take all the devotees, all the disciples by bus and take them to Vrindavan. And then he took them to this place, Brahmanda Ghat. Brahmanda, where Mother Yashoda saw in the mouth of Krishna, the whole Brahmanda, the whole universe. And Prabhupada was sitting there with Dr. Kapoor, Adikeshava Prabhu, the disciple of Bhakti Siddhanta. So they both were God brothers and they were sitting there in Brahmanda Ghat and they were watching all the devotees take bath. And then they couldn't help it. They themselves also went and took bath in Brahmanda Ghat in the Yamuna. So that famous video, that's Brahmanda Ghat. And that's the first bath in Yamuna that Prabhupada took with all his disciples around him. And we see Kshiro Dakshai Prabhu guiding Prabhupada into the water. And it was wonderful. They were doing like Abhishek on Prabhupada while he was there, those devotees who had the sense of it. So it was a very wonderful moment, Brahmanda Ghat. So in this place, Krishna bewildered Mother Yashoda by his power. And she could open your mouth. They said you ate mitti, clay. So open your mouth, let's see. So you open, and inside you just see all the universe. And then she saw she was also in there with Krishna. So she became bewildered. And then immediately she, by her prema, by her love, she snapped out of that and said, no, I must be, what's happening to me? I'm becoming too much yogurt and paneer and butter. See what happens. Yesterday was Diwali, so how much of barfi and everything they were eating? Sugar levels got too high. So she's wondering what's going on here. She's becoming illusionary, delusional. And then immediately her prema kicks in and says, no, if I don't take care of this fellow, he'll get so skinny, he'll get so weak, I have to take care of him. So her prema kicks in, and by that prema, her love kicks in. By that love, she immediately breaks that illusion that Krishna is trying to test her with. So it goes on. Therefore, when she saw that her son had become excessively afraid, she threw the stick away and desired to bind him so that he would not commit any further naughty activities. So we can see this is the turning point, that when she saw he's afraid, then she threw away the stick, because she realized he's going to become more and more fearful. So she wants to teach him a lesson, but she doesn't want to terrify him. So she can see the way he's breathing and the necklace moving, that he's very, very afraid. So immediately she threw the stick away. So we see mother's love becomes very influenced. You see that Mother Yashoda becomes very influenced by the way Krishna is feeling, by the way Krishna is reacting. So Prabhupada gives a very beautiful purport. Let's see. Mother Yashoda wanted to bind Krishna not in order to chastise him. So this is the greatest secret of the whole Damodar Leela. If you ask anyone, why did Mother Yashoda bind Krishna? Because he was naughty? No, not because he was naughty. See what Prabhupada is saying here. Mother Yashoda wanted to bind Krishna not in order to chastise him, but because she thought that the child was so restless that he might leave the house in fear. So this is in the purport. This is not in the translation. So without the devotee, without the commentaries of the Acharya, you won't pick this point up. For many years, I also thought that Krishna ran away, Mother Yashoda bind him because she was trying to teach him he was naughty. No, the heart of the devotee is the bhakta. So the devotees are saying, the commentary, Prabhupada is saying, no, she tied him because she didn't want him to leave the house out of fear. So this is a whole revolution in our understanding of Damodar Leela now. He was bound because she didn't want him to be fearful, to run away in fear. Not because of naughty. This is a beautiful part. Prabhupada says, that would be another disturbance. Because if he runs away and causes, if he runs away in fear, then the whole village will say, Yashoda, why you can't take care of your child like this? So much fear you're installing. What is this? So that will cause another problem. So in order to prevent that, she said, no, better teach him now with the better lesson of the two, either the stick or the grinding mortar. Which is better? Better the grinding mortar. Because that will bind him. His fear will come down, and he'll also learn his lesson. Don't make mischief. Prabhupada goes on to say, Therefore, because of full affection to stop Krishna from leaving the house, she wanted to bind him with rope. So, because of affection, she said, better, this lesson will be better. And you must remember, it's happening in the courtyard in Gokul. So, everybody is seeing. Already we know Queen Kunti saw. So, he's now, she can see the spectacle that's going on. So, what is mother going to do? And when mother is chastising, everybody stand back. Everybody stand back, because you may also get some of the sauce. So everybody observing this, it's like a spectacle in the courtyard. What's going on? And you must remember that mortar, for her to choose that, it must be very heavy. It's wooden, but it must be very heavy to hold Krishna back. He's quite a strong boy. He's growing. He's eating lots of milk and curd and yogurt. So he's strong. So he must be quite a strong boy. So that grinding mortar must be quite heavy as well. And we know the restless nature of children, especially mothers come up with some amazing stories. There's this famous story in, where is it? I think it's in Nandagram, of How Bilao. This place called How Bilao, where one day Mother Yashoda was busy and she's telling Krishna, hey, come sit here, don't go far. So they're walking outside and Mother is saying, hey, don't go far, come here, come stand here by me. And restless boys, we know, they listen for 1 minute and then again they go, hey, I told you, Kanaya, come here, don't go far. And now she's thinking what to do, so she's made one story. She says, oh, Krishna, I told you don't go far, but you don't listen. The how will catch you. Are Maya, what is how? How? What is? Oh, you don't know. We never told you the story because you was too small. Now Krishna's eyes became big. Oh, Maya, really? What's the story? Oh, you don't know about this. Here, if the naughty children, if they don't listen to their mother, the how will catch them. Now Krishna is listening, because Mother Yashoda's face and everything she's, oh Maya, what is this how? There is no such thing as how. Oh, you see. So mother was busy and again he's going far. She, hey, come here, I told you the how will catch you. Oh Maya, what is this how? You making stories? No, you don't know. You don't ask the other boys and they'll tell you. Their mother also told them the story about the how for naughty children. It just comes and one time and eat them up. So Krishna got very afraid. So Mother says, oh, you don't know this how. And he's going again. Hey, I told you, see there, the how is going to come. What is this how, Maya? What is this how? This how is got big eyes and big ears and big face and big teeth, and it will eat you one time if you make naughty. Oh, Krishna. Now he's listening very attentive. He heard teeth and everything. Okay. And after a few minutes, again he started to go. And just as he's going, he started to run. Mother Yashoda said, oh, Krishna, just see, the how is coming. Just come, quickly, come. Oh, Krishna didn't even look whether how or no how, somehow or the other. He and Mother Yashoda started to run, and they're running back to the house and quickly run, the how is coming. Phew. And they just made it back in the evening just to tell Nanda Baba the whole story of how they just missed it by being eaten up by the how. So if you go to Nandagram, there used to be 4 of these hows there. Now there's only 2. Somebody stole the other 2 hows. I don't know how, somehow or the other, because these are huge concrete figurines and they look like a wolf kind of figurine. If you go to How Bilao, you can visit this beautiful place where Mother Yashoda and Krishna had this pastime. So the purport continues. Mother Yashoda wanted to impress upon Krishna that since he was afraid merely to see her stick, he should not perform such disturbing activities as breaking the container of yogurt and butter and distributing its contents to the monkeys. So she wants to teach him, but she has to know how to teach him. So mothers also come up with stories that create fear. You know, when our childhood also, they told us, hey, be careful, be careful, there's a scary man that comes by and he'll catch you. And it comes for naughty children especially. Oh, so we have to... So mothers have to come up with some stories or the other to control mechanism. Oh, but what amazing stories they used to come up with. Phew. So it goes on. Yashoda did not care to understand who Krishna was or how his power spreads everywhere. This is an example of pure love for Krishna. So she's not concerned that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. What Bhagavan? When the thunderstorm comes, he's crying. He can't sleep, he's scared. He comes and sleep us. So many beautiful leelas are there where Krishna uses this maternal mood and paternal mood of Nanda Baba as well to bring out the depth of their pure love, which is beyond rules and regulations, which is on the pure level now. And it's beyond all the limitations of illusion that are there in this world. So Krishna, many times he brings in this flavor just to show that although I am God, but these devotees, they love me so much that they don't relate to any of my godly feature. They just love me for who I am. And that is Krishna, is the all-lovable Lord. Therefore, he is the only Lord of love. Every other incarnation of his has a tinge of some kind of awe and reverence. But in Vrindavan, no awe and reverence. Madhuram. Everything is sweetness there. It's Audharya and Madhurya. Everything else is Audharya, Vrindavan is Madhurya, sweetness. And that sweetness is what is so attractive about Krishna, especially in his baby feature. So I hope you enjoyed the class today. Please join us again tomorrow. Happy Govardhan Puja. Oh Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai. Hare Krishna.